Okay everybody, so in today's video, this is going to be one of the number one things that actually gets women attached that you're talking to. This is one of the things that gets them to almost view you as a storybook that they want to literally uncover page by page. And I'm going to show you how to put this into a real life practice and real life application in your own dating life, so that way you can have success. This is something that you can even apply if she starts to pull away from you. This is even something that you can apply if she does not reply to you or does not reply to your text messages. This is a very powerful step-by-step process that I've created, so stick with me until the end of this video because all of these keys are very important. Okay, after doing this for a lot of years now, here's the biggest conclusion that I have came to. Majority of men lose the women in relationships that they're dating, or they lose their dating interactions and the women that they're talking to, purely because they are oftentimes manipulated through the cell phone. They don't necessarily know how to respond to text messages, and oftentimes what happens is they are over communicating interest in certain areas without even realizing it. And a lot of this comes down to the cell phone. If you can actually master that and understand how to respond and how to reply to women the right way, you're going to be miles ahead of majority of men that don't know what they're doing, because this right here is why most men lose their dating interactions. And on top of that, if you can do this the right way, you're going to stand out from the majority of all other guys, even if they have good looks or money or status, because you actually understand the right psychological frames of value that a woman is looking for. So here's what I can tell you. Stop thinking that a girl is done talking to you after not replying for a day or two. I don't care if the girl doesn't reply for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 10 days even. I don't care. Stop thinking that she's done talking to you because of that. Because the only thing that is going to make her actually stop talking to you for good is if you over communicate your interest by you constantly over pursuing her in different ways, when in reality, if you have a little bit more patience and realize that life is probably a lot longer than you think, you can definitely make sure that these interactions go somewhere. So here's what you have to know about dating in general. If you have a cell phone in your hand with you and a woman, the phone is nothing more than a buffer between you and real life. This is what you have to understand. It's not real. None of it is real life. So I don't care how many hearts, okay, that you maybe get when she's hearting your messages or anything like that. I don't care how many messages she hearts. I don't care how many text messages she either sends you or she doesn't send you. I don't care, or I don't give a shit how many emojis you get. It is all fake. It's fake and it's not real life, despite how it makes you feel. So this is what you have to realize. Phones are free attention for her to exercise hypergamy and probability of better options through sheer volume of men to talk to, and that's it. So say this with me one more time. Phones, the cell phone in general, what this is phones are free attention for her to exercise hypergamy and the probability of better options through sheer volume, okay? Through just having more options of guys to talk to, of men to talk to, and that's it. So what the cell phone is the cell phone is her ability to exercise hypergamy to only get the highest value fit. Well, how do you become the guy who's the highest value fit? You do this by not necessarily wanting or needing to talk to her. You do this by not necessarily caring if a week goes by and you guys don't have any communication. Because those of you who actually want to maintain relationships for months or even years with a specific woman, you are going to have to understand that the preliminary stages of dating requires one word that most men don't have, and that would be patience. Okay, you need some patience. So her phone replies are guided based on 3 things and 3 things only. When she replies to you, whether she does or whether she doesn't, it is guided based on these 3 things. Number 1, how the text message that you sent made her feel in that exact moment. Okay, because keep in mind her feelings could change, and then in a day or two she might not care if that wasn't the best text, and then all of a sudden she replies to you. Number 2, how her mood is at that exact moment. Maybe there's other life circumstances and factors going on that dictates her mood and dictates the priority level of if she cares to reply to that text message or not. And number 3, how other men are currently making her feel. So to give you a real life story of how much a woman's emotions dictates what she does and the decisions that she makes, okay? There was a guy who I know who was dating a girl, okay? They were literally in a relationship. And then here's what happened. She ended up leaving him to pursue this other guy. Well, then after a couple weeks, when her and this other guy were going through some drama and the new guy didn't want to see her that night, okay, keep this in mind. The other guy that she was talking to, the new guy, he didn't want her anymore, or he started talking to a new girl. So then, because right there in that moment, because her emotions were in a state of confusion and because she was upset, what she did that night was she called her ex-boyfriend and went and slept with her ex-boyfriend just so she had somebody to sleep with, just to feel validated, and just to feel like somebody wants her right then and there in that moment. So that ex-boyfriend who got left ended up sleeping with his past girlfriend due to the fact that a different guy left. So since the other guy left, now she wanted to sleep with somebody in that exact moment just to feel validated, just to feel like she's very attractive right there in that moment. So this is how deep this goes. Her emotions will constantly change. So keep this in mind. That's a real life story that I have. So the phone is a buffer between you and real life. That's the first step you have to understand. Now, moving into this column. If a woman stops texting you, it does not mean that she does not like you anymore. You have to understand this. It doesn't mean that she doesn't like you. It doesn't mean that at all. She might still like you. What she's probably doing is she wants to test your interest level. If you're going to get needy, if you're going to want a reply, all of that shit, she's testing to see if you have other things going on in your life and if this one text message really means a whole hell of a lot to you. This is the word everyone likes to use, game. Well, what's game? Game as a man is seeing if you can attract the girl. Game as a woman is oftentimes retaining that relationship with that guy. So in the beginning, she is testing your interest level to see if you have the skills to actually attract her. A lot of times in the beginning, they will make you do 100% of the upfront pursuing. A lot of times women will make it where they don't reach out, they don't set any dates, they let the men kind of filter and select and go after and pursue the women that they want to go out on a date with. That's just how it is. Most girls don't necessarily try a lot of times to get that date with that guy. They wait for the man to come to her. Well, okay. So why most men fail long term, okay, is they try to save or retain or build a relationship. Say this with me one more time. They try to save, they try to retain, or they try to build a relationship. Say this with me. It is not your job to build shit. It is not your job to build anything. It is not a good use of your time to try to put effort into a relationship. A relationship and trying to build something that has to do with you and a companion is nothing more than words. You are going to really take time out of your day as a man to sit and try to build some words. That doesn't get you anywhere in life, and that doesn't do anything for you. So because of that, most men fail long term because they are trying to save or retain or build a relationship. Well, what does that mean? That means that guy has entered into his feminine energy because, like I told you here, game as a woman is oftentimes retaining the relationship. So it's not necessarily your job to do that. What it is your job to do is to attract her and make sure that you don't over pursue, to prove that you have the patience, to hopefully appear pre-selected, like you have other options, because that's what she wants deep down, is to know that you're a winner with other options. Thank you very much for listening to all that. Now let's go to the next point. This is a skill you can't get good at, because the second you try to build a relationship or retain her attention or retain her attraction, she leaves you. And she can't help it. See, this is the other thing that guys have to understand and guys have to realize. She can't help that she left you. She can't help that she pulled away from you. That is called Mother Nature. That is called just how they were born. So when guys start to demonstrate things that are unattractive, they will naturally pull away. And it's not like she's making the conscious decision to do that. That's how Mother Nature made it, is that way when her attraction senses something's off, she just leaves completely. So listen to me and hear me out. This is a skill that you can't get good at, because the second you try to build a relationship or retain her attraction and retain her attention, she leaves you. So this is the mindset. The mindset is this. I don't care what happens. She could leave at any time and stop seeing me, and it's out of my control. This is what I tell myself if I'm talking to any date. This is what I tell myself if I'm talking to any woman. Because the truth is, you don't know if you're going to ever see somebody again or not. So the mindset that I have 24/7 is I don't care what happens during this interaction at all. I don't give a shit. She could leave at any time and she could stop seeing me at any time, and it's out of my control. So because of that, I'm not even going to try, because the more time that I put into this, it starts to look like I have nothing to do and nothing else going on. So keep that in mind. So back to my point, okay? The point that I made up top is stop thinking a girl is done talking to you after not replying for a day or two. Here's what I can tell you. You will never be able to fully retain a woman's attention or attraction because her emotions dictate how she feels about certain things and circumstances in that given day or during that given day or whatever the case may be. These things are out of your control. So I would say that that would be true with 90% of the women that I've been with. Now, moving your attention to this piece, okay? She is waiting to reply to you. Oftentimes she is waiting to test you to see what you will do. So this is what you have to understand is when a woman doesn't reply to you, this is called an interest test. She is testing your interest level to see if this is going to raise your anxiety, to see if you're going to double text her. And sometimes that's okay if you need to reactivate the conversation within, a week or two or something, or maybe you change the mood with a new text message or something that you send her that's witty, okay? And on top of that, she's testing to see if you're the best option for her. So she is waiting to test you and to see what you will do. Now, when she stops replying, these are mostly interest tests, like I just told you. So why? Why would she need to test your interest level? Why is this an interest test? Well, you see, women know that men oftentimes want to get laid. She knows this. She knows that you want to get laid. Men know that women want that man's time, care, attention, and potential resources for the future. Okay? This is like an inverse dynamic going on. So, with that said, what does she do? Well, she pulls back to get you more emotionally invested because she wants to try to get you to love her. So think about that for a second. She wants to try to get you to love her. So what she's doing is she has to say, okay, I know that most guys want to get laid. Because I know that most guys want to get laid, what are the things that I need so that way there's the level of security and resources to where if we had potential kids together one day, there is definitely some resources here for me. Okay, so what does she want? She needs your love. She needs your care. She needs your time. She needs your attention. She needs your emotional investment. And she needs to see that she holds more weight in your emotional availability than all of the other women out there. So that makes her want to actually be with you. So keep this in mind. Men oftentimes trade attention for hopes of future sexual access. So she wants him to value her so it feels like it's more than just that. This is why what she's doing is she is oftentimes not replying, or she is going to be testing your interest level to see what you're going to do. Because oftentimes, one of the things that makes her feel more secure is knowing that you will potentially have other options, but despite you having those other options, which signals pre-selection, she sees that you and her have something that's different. So this is what she's doing. Now, if a guy gets needy right here and starts texting her a lot and calling her a lot, and figuring out why she's not replying or what's going on, this is going to signal lower value, and then she's going to exit. So hypergamy is like a dual-edged kind of thing going on. She wants to make sure you're attractive and has options, and you can potentially exercise those options if you wanted to, but on top of that, she's wanting to make sure that if she decides to invest in you with what you're wanting, you know how to reciprocate and give her what she's wanting. So it's a very fine line that's going on the entire time. Now, as a man, you will have to do 70% plus of the work up front to try to talk to her and try to set a date. Like I've told you in the beginning, they are going to make you oftentimes do 100% oftentimes even of setting things up and making sure that this date can happen. But let's use this just for a rough number, okay? Just for a rough estimate. Let's say a man will have to do 70% plus, okay, of the work up front to try to talk to her and try to set a date. Now, why is she doing that? Why is she almost getting you to preload a lot of attention towards her? Because like I said, she knows that men oftentimes want to get laid. So in order for you to get oftentimes what you want, a lot of times, which is intimacy, an emotional connection, right? Potentially like being with her on that level romantically, she needs to make sure that she gets what she wants out of it, which would be resources, time, attention, and potential love. So she wants you to value her so it doesn't feel like she's just an option. So what comes down to this, or what goes into this, is the word patience. You need to have patience because everything, and I mean everything, operates on that woman's time horizon. You do not get to choose when her emotions work in your favor. If you're going to understand how love works, okay, and the type of man that she starts to invest into, you are going to have to be patient, and you let things unfold day by day at a time. You can't micromanage every little detail and every little text message. Sometimes you're gonna hear from her and sometimes you won't. And that's just how it is, because emotions change. So it comes down to a word that I call patience. Now, allow 4 to 10 days to pass, maybe, even sometimes 2 to 3 weeks if you need to, before you will now send that second text message. Like I told you down here, back to the point, I would say 90% of the women that I've slept with, I have had to double text at some point. But I didn't do it at a point where I was doing it out of being needy or signaling that I don't have any other options. It's like, okay, 2 or 3 weeks went by, this is a specific life event or something that occurred in my life. It makes sense to text her this or to see what she's up to. It makes sense to send this. And if her emotions are going to work in my favor at that time, you have a lot higher chance because you've demonstrated that you have patience. You demonstrate that you have other things going on. But at the same time, she's enough of a priority where you still were willing to reach out. You still were willing to send that second text message. So you have to play the long game with this. And that's why oftentimes with men, what you need to realize is you need options. You need to be talking to 10, maybe 15 girls on text message at a time. You need to see who's into you and who isn't, because out of these 15 girls, I would say probably half of them are going to be showing the interest level that you're needing to actually make them a potential option that's real. And then out of that, half of them, so out of that 7 or 8, I would say maybe only 3 or 4 of them, once you meet in real life, are going to have authentic chemistry. So this is about laying your cards right and demonstrating that you have options. And this is the type of guy that she starts to fall in love with. This is the type of guy that she gets very attached to, because he shows that he has patience. He's calm enough to just sit in the moment and let things play out. So here's what I can tell you. If a woman doesn't reply to you and you let this, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus days play out, you can reactivate a conversation with a lot of different things. In the past, I've done a picture that I send her of me eating food, okay? I've done voice memos or voice messages, something simple. Something that just creates a vibe, something that creates a smiley face of feel-good energy. This is all you have to do. You don't have to do anything heavy. You don't have to do anything that's harsh topics that require a lot of thought, right? You purely just have to reactivate the conversation with an emotion and a vibe. And if you can do that, you're going to win. So she may even reach out to you too. This is the part that I'm trying to get across. There was a time where I was talking to a girl and I told myself, okay, on day 10, I'm going to send that second text message. And then it got to day 9 and she was the one who now finally reached back out to me. Why? Because I showed patience. Very important. So here's what I can tell you. Always do 2 things with women when you are talking to them. The first thing that you're doing is you are satisfying hypergamy. And what that means is that shows that you are the guy who is strong enough emotionally to weather any kind of storm. You are the highest value fit that she can find. Number 2, you are showing a discrepancy in SMV, sexual market value, so she's attracted to you. That's what attraction to a woman is. Attraction to a woman is a discrepancy in SMV. So a lot of times women will be attracted to you and they will want things to play out with you, but she has to pull back. She has to stop replying. She has to not text message you a lot, or she has to wait 12 to 24, sometimes 48 hours before she texts you back, because she wants to see what you will do. So a man with options, number 1, will not get needy. Number 2, a man with options will not feel the need to respond as soon as possible. And number 3, a man with options will talk when it's convenient for him. A lot of times what I would recommend you guys doing is condensing your text message times with women to just from maybe 7:30 p.m. to before you go to bed, right? So that little 2 to 3 hour window, that's probably the best time, because at least she sees your day is over and at least it shows like you have other things going on throughout the day. So my biggest shift over the past 3 to 12 months was this. Let me explain. What you have to do, and I know that this is hard, you have to remove the masculine doer or do it or fixer or the fix it guy mentality. You see, as men, we like to handle things. And when I say handle things, you like to handle problems in your life, or you like to get stuff done. That's part of just oftentimes being a man, is you see that there's a task and you finish it to get it done with. So here's what I can tell you. You get a text message, right? We've all been there, and you see that little blue dot pop up on your text message histories. And on your text message history, the ones that you have not opened yet, it comes up as a blue dot, and it shows that you have to open it. Majority of men, if you watch their behaviors and if you watch their patterns, What they want to do is when they get a message like that, they want to open it right away and they want to handle it, because to them it's almost like business. It's like, now it's something on my to-do list, I have to respond to this, I have to take care of this, and then wait for her to reply. Women do not operate that way, because if you see their cell phones, they will have tons of blue text messages that they have not opened yet, and they don't care, because they're operating on their own time frame, and oftentimes their cell phone doesn't necessarily control their day-to-day habits. They just operate when they want to do stuff. So this is the biggest mindset shift I've had over the past 3 to 12 months, is removing the masculine fixer or get it done guy mentality of getting stuff done, because it doesn't work that way when it comes to dating. So what I can tell you is this: if you are typically in the mindset where you see that blue dot pop up on your phone and you're like, okay, I gotta open this and I have to make sure that I get this done, the answer is no. No, you don't. You sit there and you let it wait. You let it sit. Maybe she's going to reach out to you in a couple hours and even double text message you. So if you do this, if you operate this way and you don't let the cell phone control your emotional state when talking to women, this is the type of guy she gets attached to. This is the type of guy she wants to invest in, and this is the type of guy she wants to date. So stop thinking that a girl is done talking to you after just not replying for a day or two. If you like this video, I want you to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.